What is going on, everybody? Happy evening. Day one evening, day two essentially, of the winter meetings. Yesterday was the Whopper, Juan Soto. Tonight, there's a lot of stuff circulating around right now. And Hector's going to join me in a little bit too, live at the winter meetings. But we're hearing, if you haven't heard, the Yankees are closing in on Max Fried. Okay. But there's also stuff going around. The Mets are already exchanging packages with the White Sox for a Garrett Crochet trade. So packages being exchanged, but there's nothing official yet. But the big name being circulated right now is Kyle Tucker from the Astros. If you haven't heard, so apparently the Astros are listening in on Kyle Tucker. So which is surprising to a degree. But then when you look at it, their number one prospect is a corner outfielder. So Jacob Melton. So you could replace, and he's due this year. So if you trade Kyle Tucker, you can replace him with their number one prospect. Now the question is, what would it cost? All over the place, see Jettis. Everybody's kind of talking about Max Fried right now at the winter meetings, and I'll ask Hector too for live updates on it. But in terms of Tucker, first of all, he would more than replace Juan Soto, right? Yo, hey, what's good, brother? What would the question be? What would the cost? What would the cost be? It's not the only thing that's being talked about tonight either. There's more to go over as well. So, hello, Jennifer. How are you? Maz is in the building. He constantly what's happening, guy? So that's what's circulating right now. Obviously, the Yankees have. There was a chatter early that the Yankees were gaining momentum also with Teoscar Hernandez, but I think right now, anything with Teoscar Hernandez and anything with Cody Bellinger is going to be put on hold until they find out this possibility to get Kyle Tucker. Okay, he's a free agent after next year, so he will cost a boatload of money. So any trade, I would hope that they would talk about an extension too, right? The question would be, what would you give up for him? What would it cost, right? In the back of my mind, probably Luis Hill and either Ben Rice or Roderick Arias. There's no need to give him Spencer Jones or Jason Dominguez because their number one prospect is an outfielder. So it's pointless to give him one of them. But Alex Bregman could be leaving, right? Roderick Arias fits right in there in the infield. Okay, Luis Hill, Rookie of the Year, you sell high on him as well. He's had some injury problems too. So he might cost 3 of the top 10. Roderick Arias is one of them. And Luis Hill is our Rookie of the Year. He'd be more valuable in the top 10 prospect. And Ben Rice. So there you go. So the only way that the Yankees would trade for a Kyle Tucker is if they were able to extend them. And maybe agree to an extension before the deal is officially consummated. Because I don't think they were going to risk another 1-year deal like they had with Juan Soto this past year. So, since rather sign a free agent and give up top prospects, not necessarily, Jeffrey. Draft pick compensation is the problem. Is it's not only draft pick compensation; it's international money. Every time you sign a player attached to a QO, you have to give $1 million in international money. That's 20% of your international money right off the bat from one player. So nothing yet on Corbin Burns. We just know that the Yankees are in on him. So, well, Hobby, we don't know yet. We don't know that yet. Depends on what type of package. I don't think they would hang up if the Yankees called and say, let's start with Luis Hill and Roderick Arias, or Luis Hill and Ben Rice. That would solve 2 problems for the Astros. Right? So, of them who being interested, all we know is that the GM of the Astros came out and said they're listening on Kyle Tucker. They're listening on Framber Valdez. The GM of the Astros said that at the winter meetings tonight. They are listening in on him. So that's all we know right now. Okay. Yeah, Crochet. That's the thing. I would rather get Max Fried than Garrett Crochet. No last thing. And Garrett Crochet, you're going to have to give up Jones or Dominguez, or they might even ask for both. No, they wouldn't, Javi. Their number one prospect is an outfielder. They wouldn't want it. Want to. Roderick Arias makes more sense for the Astros. Right? Now it's all over the place, Jay Gent. Yankees. They're closing. They're trying to close on the deal for free. It's circulating all throughout the winter meetings right now, and Hector will give us more clarity on it. Okay. Now, the other thing I wanted to say is it might be kind of crazy, but would they consider Carlos Correa from the Twins and ask him if he'd be willing to play first base? He's got 4 years left on his deal, right? But it's inexpensive, but a couple of things. Just like Teoscar Hernandez, these guys are both clutch hitters. But these guys also have the I don't give an F attitude attached to them, which I think could suit the Yankees well. Okay, and Correa is an elite defender. Teoscar not so much. But they're both clutch hitters. And we need some clutch genes here. Okay. Bellinger and Suzuki is a possibility too. But Correa is one that's just kind of his name's kind of being lightly floated around the winter meetings right now. And it's an intriguing possibility. I would try to get him for first base. I would see if he'd be willing to play first base. I'd also probably keep him a little bit healthier than playing third base. Right? So yeah, I mean Rice and Hill for Tucker if you add in Arias and get that would be a monster trade. Kim from Korea is another one, it's a possibility. Yep. Cadzilla. Tucker's name's being floated right now. The Astros GM said they're listening in on him. So people are asking what it would take. And people are floating around Yankees as a team that should be trading for him to replace Juan Soto. Now, I don't know if the Yankees have themselves reached out to them yet. Okay. So, yeah, Murakami's not available yet. I mean, I don't know about Correa playing first either. I mean, it could be Alec Bohm, could be another possibility. He's played some first base. Bohm would be cheaper than Correa, salary-wise. So he's another one. So it's interesting what's going on. And a lot of this stuff circulates a lot during winter meetings. But when the big names start to be circulated, Roki Sasaki was posted. So there's nothing that can happen right now, Hayden. Nothing. No. I don't think that's going to be enough to get Tucker, bro. Because Cortez only has 1 year left. I think you might have to give him Hill. I think. News about Christian Walker. All we know is that the Mets have reached out to that Diamondbacks representative. Well, not his agent, Walker's agent, and expressed interest, just as a way of saying, maybe putting some urgency on Pete Alonso to get a deal done, because there is mutual interest between them and Pete Alonso to get a deal done. There's also the Dodgers are at 3 years and $66 million for Teoscar Hernandez. He wants a 4 or 5 year deal, so they're a bit of a gap apart. So if the Yankees want Teoscar, they're going to probably have to go 4 years, $100 million, if you want him. And if that's the case, would I be interested? I'll take Murakami over Vlad. I have a feeling, Stephen B, that Vlad's going to go to the Mets next year. I have a feeling. No, the deal hasn't been made yet, G-Gent. And we're not going to know the details until the deal's agreed upon for Max Fried, but that's what we're hearing. Hernandez is 32. Possibility of Hassan, maybe. Flip Durbin and Arias for Correa or Robert. I don't think either one of them is going to be enough. You're going to have to give up Dominguez for Correa. Yeah, Heck's coming on shortly, Jacob. Yeah, he is. He is. And I heard the Yankees and the Mets are the most aggressive right now for Correa too. But the Mets right now are exchanging packages with the White Sox, so they might be a step ahead. But does that mean they don't get Sean Manaea back? Does that mean they don't get Corbin Burns? They're gonna get somebody. They're gonna add somebody to that rotation. We are still in the Burns market, yeah. Well, we got some more information tonight too on Juan Soto. So there were a couple things. First of all, um, Juan Soto, the Yankees didn't want to give Juan Soto a free suite at Yankee Stadium because they wouldn't do it. They never did it for Aaron Judge or Derek Jeter, and it wouldn't be fair to give it to Soto. The Mets offered him a suite, but we also heard that the Yankees made their final offer yesterday at 9 a.m., and the Mets never got back to them after that. They never gave him a chance to move up. So that was the last correspondence between the Yankees and Juan Soto, it sounds like. Um, so we heard that too. Profar is an option, man. Profar is an option. No, and he's a high on base percentage guy. So, and he won't cost as much. So that's what we're hearing right now. I don't know if the union signed it for. I don't know if they pressured Soto to sign with the Mets. I'm not sure. Could have. But he was clearly going to go where the money was. So it is what it is. Nothing yet on the Tigers, Josh. Haven't heard anything yet. Well, that's yeah. I mean, if I'm the Yankees, if I'm going to trade Nestor Cortez or Trent Grisham, I'm going to try and get some international money back with that to keep boosting the pot, right? So, but I do think yeah, and Brian Cashman did say it makes sense to move Judge back to right field, and depending on what they do in the outfield, because they're going to get another outfielder now, depending on who it is, we'll see if Dominguez gets left or center. So the Yankees are, I don't know if they have third most international money. They're in that second tier. I think they might be like 10th or something like that. So, no, Dodgers are in the bottom. The Yankees are not behind the Dodgers international money. Cadzilla. The Dodgers are almost at the bottom. Yeah, the Cardinals reached out to the Yankees. They're trying to get the Yankees to bite on Nolan Arenado. Would I send Schmidt, Arias, Warren, Selvage? I wouldn't send 5 guys for Tucker. It's too much. Schmidt and Arias. That's it. If you want Warren, you want, but I wouldn't give 5 guys. Not for 1 year of Kyle Tucker. Yeah, we're gonna get a first baseman, Jose, and I pass on Nolan Arenado as well. So it looks like the Cardinals are trying to get the Yankees to bite. So that's what we're hearing right now. But the Yankees seem to be closest on Max Fried here. The sentiment, even Mark Feinsand is saying that the Yankees are going to get the deal done with Max Fried. Do the Yankees bite on Arenado if they offer Donovan? Only if Arenado plays first base and Donovan plays third, and I can move Jazz to second. But yeah, I would listen if they offer Donovan. Yes. Yep. I'm trying to see what else we got here. But yeah, the Yankees and the Mets are the most aggressive for Garrett Crochet. I don't know what the Yankees are offering, but I can't see them getting Crochet without a Dominguez or Jones. I just can't see it happening. So, and it sounds like here Luis Angel Acuna from the Mets, the shortstop, would likely have to go to the White Sox for a Crochet. Would I take Arenado for DJ? I would, but the Cardinals wouldn't. The Cardinals won't take DJ. Yeah. So that's where we're at right now. Let's see, but yeah, the Yankees apparently would not add a free suite for one. So I can't. Yeah, you're not giving it to Judge. Why would you give it to Soto? So Steve Cohen included. Yeah, I mean, you want to do that? Go right ahead, man. Go right ahead. Let's see here. MLB Network has put out a potential lineup. I don't know if you've seen this. Who am I mispronouncing, Andre? Jurickson Profar, Aaron Judge, Cody Bellinger, Stanton, Christian Walker, Jazz, Arenado, Wells, Volpe. There's 4 new guys in their lineup here, which is kind of crazy. Mark Feinsand said they're closest. They're trying to finalize the deal with Max Fried, but he thinks they're gonna. He thinks they're gonna get done. That it's going to get done. So that's what we see right now. The deal is not done yet, and it's not going to be corroborated by a bunch of other people until the deal is actually done. And Brian Cashman also said tonight that Caleb Durbin is odds-on favorite to win the second base job for 2025, unless something else happens. He's in the lead. So I think Kiermaier might be retired, isn't he? No, Rob. That's just part of the reporting. He left the Yankees over money. He wanted more money from the Mets, and the Mets maximized the money. Period. That's it. He didn't leave the Mets. He didn't leave the Yankees because the Mets had a better future. They don't have a better future. They don't have a better farm. Okay. Left him for money. It's a business decision. He's rep by Scott Boras. They go for the money. So, Fried could be finalized tonight. My man Hector went to meetings right there, brother. What's good?
What's good, Jay? What's good, chat? How you doing, baby?
We're hearing a lot of stuff, man.
Yeah.
We're hearing,
Yeah,
Kyle Tucker.
what?
We're hearing a lot of Kyle Tucker chat going on.
Yeah. Crochet. What you been hearing, Jay?
The Mets and the Yankees are pretty aggressive right now on
Mm-hmm.
crochet. That Kyle Tucker, the GM of the Houston Astros, I saw him. He said they're listening in on Kyle Tucker.
Yeah.
So people are suggesting that the Yankees put forth a package and try to think about what kind of package it would take to get him. And again, but I think the Yankees are probably gonna put the brakes on Cody Bellinger or Teoscar Hernandez until they find out if Tucker's a possibility. What are you hearing, bro?
I heard earlier in the day. This is before the Tucker nonsense that the Yankees were targeting Cody Bellinger as their top priority next to Max Fried, and how Teoscar Hernandez's name got tossed in there as a plan B just in case if they couldn't get Cody Bellinger. So now with the whole Kyle Tucker name drop and the fact that he's on the trade block, now we got to see if the Yankees are even going to try to trade for Kyle Tucker. I know Cody Bellinger is the top priority for them.
I lost you. You frozen up. Freezing up. Freezing up, bro. There you go.
Can you hear me?
You froze. There you go. I got your back
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, my fault, my fault. So now with Kyle Tucker, his name get tossed out there being on the trade block. Now we have to see when it comes what's going to be the value that he's going to bring back. Because now if you're the Cubs, you can sit back and wait to see what Kyle Tucker brings back. So now you can now demand whatever you want for Cody Bellinger.
Yeah, well, exactly. And
And,
again,
and what I'm hearing about the Cubs, my fault, Jay, is that the Cubs are going into full fire sale mode, straight fire sale mode. So they're not even trying to bring back any contracts. So the conversations we was having yesterday about throwing DJ LeMahieu to offset the money, they don't want to bring back any money. They don't want any dead money. They're just in fire sale mode. They're just trying to get rid of all the money.
would they move Imanaga? Shota Imanaga?
I didn't ask specifically the Chicago beat writer that when he was talking to us about it. So I don't know, but from what I heard, if anybody's making money on the Cubs, they out the door.
So I wonder if they could package Suzuki with Bellinger and get a double whammy. So what I'm hearing
But
also. Go ahead.
whatever the Yankees do is going to cost them prospects. So
Hmm.
just know that you gotta spend in order to play.
Yeah, and this is the thing too. Let's just say Tucker, the Houston Astros' #1 prospect is a corner outfielder. So I don't think it's going to cost Dominguez or Spencer Jones. You're going to have to give up Roderick Arias. Probably Luis Hill. Um, those two, and maybe another piece for a year of Tucker. So I think, but we'll see. Now, when it comes
Yeah.
to some of these other folks, um, Tyler Talbot, thank you for the super chat, brother. Bellinger, Freed, Scott, resign Hill, Sasaki trade. They're in on. They're going to be in on Sasaki. They're going to make an offer for him.
Yeah, Sasaki's going to the Dodgers though. Like all the Japanese media that's here that I spoke to, everybody feels that he's going to the Dodgers. So unless he changes his mind and just like pulls a fast one on all of us, he's most likely going to the Dodgers.
Yeah, thank you, Tyler T. Thank you, brother.
Yeah, but Max Fried, it's going to get done by the time the winter meetings are over. Like apparently that's the timeline for Max Fried. The announcement for his contract. And the Yankees are favored in that conversation. But then again, you never know what happens in the last hour. The Yankees were favored for Juan Soto all of Saturday until that last minute when Steve Cohen came and started flexing his money.
Yeah, I heard that. And I heard this too. I don't know if there's any teeth. Is Anthony Rizzo is closing in on a 1-year deal with the Pirates. So, um, yeah, man, good for Rizzo. Good for Rizzo. If that's true, but I think Tucker would be a huge one for anybody. That'd be a huge get. I mean, if Tucker and Bellinger would be crazy, Tim.
Now you gotta ask yourself if you're the Yankees, right? If you're Brian Cashman, you got two players on the table: Cody Bellinger and Tucker. The asking price is Luis Hill. Which team would you rather trade Luis Hill to? The Chicago Cubs in the National League, or the Houston Astros, your rival?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. If I'm gonna trade Hill to the Cubs, then I'm gonna try to attach a prospect, and I'm gonna try to get say Suzuki with it.
Pardon me.
If I'm gonna send Hill to the Cubs, then I'm probably gonna attach a prospect, and I'm gonna try and get Suzuki to come back with Bellinger. 'Cause I would prefer to send him to the Cubs. That's a good point, but I would like
Hmm.
an extra piece back because I think we might not have need to give Hill to get Cody Bellinger. But if I'm gonna give Hill, I want another piece with it. So that's the way I would look at it. But I mean, yeah. I mean, I would hate for him to send him to the Astros to have him dominate our asses for the next 3 years,
Yeah.
4 years. So because he's got 5 years of control. So like, yeah.
Hmm. Yeah.
So
Yeah, and then one thing I wanted to bring up also when it comes to the Juan Soto contract, right? And this is something I was having a conversation with like a senior Latino journalist out here. He's from LA. He made some great points. When you look at the Juan Soto's contract, this is going to set a new precedent for Latino athletes and for Latino baseball players specifically, because in years past, most of the times, a Latino player that's coming up through an organization, they sign the contract extension and they don't maximize their value. Look at Acuna. Look at Alzi Albes,
yeah,
Albies. They got criticized for the money they took because they were very team-friendly deals. So this right, that's a valid point that journalist made to me. And of course, we don't take credit for other people's take. That's not what we do, Jason. But
yeah.
got to give credit to what credit's due. That's a solid point. This is going to set a new precedent for Latino baseball players coming up. When you look at the top 10 big-time contracts over the past few years, right? Juan Soto, he's making Messi money now. This is soccer money that he signed for, right? Alex Rodriguez, years ago, he set the world on fire with his massive contract. The difference between Juan Soto and Alex Rodriguez, yes, they are both Dominican, but Alex Rodriguez was born in the U.S. He was an American citizen, right? Juan Soto still doesn't have a citizenship to this day. So that's a big time difference.
Mm-mm-mm. Yeah, I think he's raising the bar for a lot of free agents, man. And a lot of free agents are going to be real happy. The union's going to be real happy. So, and again, this is where I think the Yankees could win. Well, let me know if you agree with me, but like free agency is going to get more expensive with these guys, right? The price is going to fluctuate, which is why I think the Yankees are going to try to consider trades too, because if you trade somebody with controllable years, the salary doesn't change. You know what the salary is. So, like, I'll just give you Teoscar Hernandez. Like the Dodgers are at 3 years and 66 million for him, but he wants 4 or 5 years. Yankees are probably going to have to give him 4 years, 100 million to get him, probably, right? So it'd just be tiered salaries where if you trade for who Tucker or Bellinger, you know what the hell the salary is going to be for the next how so on and so forth. It doesn't going to change until they become a free agent. So it's free agency is financially more risky, obviously. Um,
Yeah, no, it definitely is. You listen, you're gambling, right? You have to gamble right now. When you look at this, the pitches the starting pitching market, Max Fried, Corbin Burns, those are the top two starting pitchers that lead that list. But both of those starting pitchers are 30 years old. Both of those starting pitchers, they have some injury concerns, right?
mhm,
So if you're a team, if you're going to invest 6 to 7 years on either of those starting pitchers, you're going into that negotiation, understanding that the first 3 years you're gonna get the best version of them. Those last 4 years, they're gonna suck.
mhm. By the end of Soto's contract, a dude's gonna look like Bartolo Colon. So
Yeah, and that's the overall consensus from everybody here at the winter meetings that the Juan Soto contract, it's great for the player but bad for the team. Like everybody feels that it's a horrible contract. If you're Steve Cohen, you overpay because you're trying to win the back page war, right?
mhm,
Everybody believes that it's a horrible contract when you look at the money, when you look at the years, and when you look at the Yankees. I know we don't want to give trophies for second place, but 760 million, that's not something just to cough at, right? That's not cheap numbers. But again, there's no trophy for second place. There's no victory for second place. And that's what the Yankees were in the negotiation. They were in the second place. They put their offer in at 9 o'clock in the morning, and they had to sit back and wait. And Steve Cohen, he spent his money like somebody who's a fan. That's how
mhm.
he spent his money. He spent his money the way that me and Jason spends money on our fantasy teams, but we lose every week, right? I mean, we're 0-15 in both of our fantasy leagues.
And that's see, you bring up a point because that was reported tonight too that the Yankees made their final offer at 9 a.m. and Boris never got back to them. He did not
Yeah,
return. He never got back to them after that.
yeah,
So that they did not have a chance to, and that was just it was what it is. That was a decision they made. It is what it is now. So,
yeah.
and there was another report that the Yankees wouldn't give Soto a suite, and the Mets did, and all this stuff. So, um, but I mean, don't think that's just goose. That's just icing on the cake.
There's one thing that I'm going to say when it comes to the outside noise. When you see the Yankees and Mets, right? The Yankees are the more popular brand, the more worldwide
Mhm,
recognized brand. So the suites, those are some expensive suites. When you look at the Mets, you're trying to attract and build something. And one way you could do that is offer up the suites
mhm,
that are there at the stadium. And it's not just that, there's a culture switch that's going on over there with the Mets and with at City Field and Steve Cohen and his wife Alex Cohen. I've said it a bunch of times on your show,
mhm,
Jason. Alex Cohen, her team, her squad that she has out there in City Field, they're going out of their way to make people comfortable. They're going out of their way to make that a family friendly
mhm,
environment. Like if you go back and look at some of the videos that I posted on social media from inside the Mets locker room during the playoff run, the conversations, the speeches that they were having. She
mhm,
was having regular staff members there that were a part of that staff since the 90s, since the 80s, who's been there for years. And
mhm.
it's just a different vibe. Again, I'm a Yankee fan. I don't want people to think I'm not a Yankee fan, but reality is what reality is, and you got to be able to tell the truth.
And they got to look. They have good intel. They're finding out what opportunities that other teams are not capitalizing on, and they are capitalizing on them. They're setting themselves apart. They're making themselves different from other teams, and it's going to attract. And it attracted Juan Soto, right? So you never know who else it's going to attract. So they're doing
Yeah.
something. They're doing something right.
Jacob, I'm feeling good, baby. Shout out to the chat. If you guys can, smack the like button. Where's Jonathan at? Jonathan, do your job. Tell us how many likes there are on the stream, Jonathan. Do your job, Jonathan.
Yeah, we're here. We're hearing that. They're Mark Feinsand said they're working to try to finalize.
He's literally right in front of me right now, smoking a cigarette. Hold on, I'm
Mark
gonna try to
Feinsand.
turn the camera. Yeah, literally. Hold on, wait.
Yo, Mark. Huh? Nice, man. Holy crap, man. I heard he's pretty cool.
Yeah, he is. He is. I had a conversation with him. A lot of the guys are pretty cool. There's one that I'll tell you about separate, Jay.
I, I got you. I got so we are wow 300 subs away from 22,000. Wow, I just noticed that. 300 subs away from. If anybody's not subscribed, please hit that subscribe button, and please make sure you subscribe to Uptown Sports as well. Talk about the real stuff, man. And he's got a
Yes, yes,
great.
yes. Hit that subscribe button. If there's a mod in the chat, drop the link for Uptown Sports TV. He just walked back inside. I just saw the chat. Somebody said, try to get him on. Like I said, a lot of these guys are nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jacob wants to know if you're okay trading Jason Dominguez.
No, but if we have to, like I'm not okay with trading our top prospects, but you go into these conversations understanding that if you want a high-end piece like a Garrett Crochet, if you want a Cody Bellinger, if you want one of these top-end level talents that's supposed to help your team get over the hump and get back to the promised land, you're gonna have to give something up in order to get something.
Mm-hmm.
And if it costs us Jason Dominguez, so be it. At the
Mm-hmm.
end of the day, prospects are lottery tickets. You just hope that you have the golden one. I love
Mm-hmm.
Jason Dominguez. I have a foul ball that I got from Jason Dominguez back when he was at Tampa Bay with the Tarpons. Right, I want to get it signed. But if we have to trade him away to improve ourselves, to take us over that hump, you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah, yeah, if I might just answer your question too, it's funny you said that because Brian Cashman did not. He refused to commit to Luke Weaver to being a closer tonight when they interviewed him. So expect
Yeah,
him to add somebody high end to Luke Weaver, somebody big, maybe Tanner Scott, somebody like that. Expect him to add somebody. It's not going to just be Luke Weaver. And here's the link, by the way, to Uptown Sports right here.
thank you. Appreciate you, Jacob.
Jacob. Thank you, Jacob. There's the link right there. So if anybody's not sub to this channel, make sure you sub to that channel, please. And let's keep this. We'll keep the moving on. His lovely
Yeah.
Grace Monroe is his partner in crime. She's a fantastic co-host
Yes.
and bringing a different perspective on things. And it's just a fantastic dynamic that they have there. Really, really, really is. And yeah, Roderick Arias is a tradable prospect. He's blocked, unfortunately, by George Lombard right now. That's what the Yankees said the other day. George Lombard's the only untouchable prospect now.
I was just about to bring that up. The Yankees are infatuated with George Lombard,
Yeah.
right? George Lombard, he comes from his father was a former major league player with
Mhm.
the Detroit Tigers, so he comes from an environment that he's been around the ballparks when he was a child, right? He's been around somebody who's played at the major league level ever since he was a young kid, ever since he was in little league. So that's a guy that the Yankees want to hold on to. He's another somebody is just running across. Yo, it is crazy in Texas, bro. Anywho, seriously, just running across in front of me. Anywho, but no, George Lombard, it's a guy that the Yankees want to build on when you look at their prospect pool.
Yeah.
Roger Arias, I saw him in spring training last year at the minor league complex. Phenomenal kid, phenomenal speed.
Switch
If
hitter.
you want switch hitter as well. George Lombard also was committed to Vanderbilt, right? We drafted him out of high school, and the only reason he signed with the Yankees is because he grew up a Yankee fan. So that's something to also put in there as well.
Yeah, I mean they had some good looking prospects. That's why I don't buy the people that don't say the Yankees don't have a farm or a future. They do. They are good. I mean, they're still behind the Tampa Bay Rays in terms of developing prospects, but Tampa Bay Rays have also enjoyed a decade at the bottom, drafting at the top. The Yankees haven't drafted at the top since the early '90s, so that's 30
Yeah,
years of being good.
Jeter was the last prospect the Yankees took in the draft.
Yeah,
Remember that?
he was sixth pick.
Yep. And before Jeter, it was who was that starting pitcher that busted
Ryan,
his arm?
Ryan Taylor.
Yeah, Brian Taylor.
That was like 91 or 90 or something like that. I
I
think,
think it
right?
was I think it was 90 if I'm not mistaken. Could have been 91. But yeah, that's a guy that I think he was protecting one of his family members or his
His brother.
brother.
His brother's
Yeah.
getting jumped at a bar, and he's protecting his brother.
Hmm.
And he tore his shoulder, tore his rotator. He was done. It was a wrap for him after that. He was never the same. And this guy, he was highly touted like the next Randy Johnson. So, like,
Yeah.
unfortunately, that didn't pan out for us. I wish it did. I really, really do. But that's
I've seen so many different former ball players here. I ran into Adam Jones coming out of the bathroom.
nice.
Nelson Cruz was here. I was able to say what up to Nelson
Nice.
Cruz. I spoke with Alex Cora earlier. Yeah, it's been dope today.
Nice, man. Graham wants to know what do we think? International money, salary relief, a prospect, something like that. Um,
I know you brought up Cody Bellinger, but with Nestor Cortez making what he's making like 8 or 9 million, and the Cubs are not trying to bring back any money. They
mhm.
they they want to offload their money. So if you trade Nestor Cortez, I don't think the Cubs are going to want to eat that 8 or 9 million from Nestor Cortez. They may just want prospects back in return. Then again, you never know because Nestor Cortez, what is he? How many years he has left? Like 2 more years before he hits free agency.
One.
After this year, right? He hits free agency.
Mhm.
Yeah,
So it's. I mean, you can get something. You can get something from Nestor Cortez, whatever it might be. I mean, there are
yeah.
teams.
It's not going to be Cody Bellinger because if he's a free agent after next year, they're gonna want some prospect back in return for Cody.
Mhm. And yeah, but they'll. I mean, there are teams out there that'll take a lefty pitcher who throw 170, 180 innings on the cheap. Nestor Cortez. Somebody will find a lot of value in that. So, and, like this, I would try my damnedest to get Brandon Donovan from the Cardinals, but I don't think that's going to happen. The Cardinals are
No.
pushing the Yankees hard to try to get Arenado, but I'm like, I don't want to talk about Arenado unless you're going to include Donovan or one of your relievers, Helsley or JoJo. Like,
Yeah, I was just about to say, I like Arenado. Well, Arenado, first and foremost, that's a guy that if you get him, he's going to change the culture of your locker room.
mhm,
First and foremost, that's the first thing he's going to do. That's a fiery guy. He wants to win a championship. He wants to win. He's come out and say that he's willing to move positions and go to first base. So if you
he
get
wants it.
Arenado, it's not a sole conclusion that he's going to be your third baseman. He may get shifted over to move to play first base. That could be an option as well, and keep Jazz Chisholm at third. I know his money goes down
Mhm.
as the seasons keep on going. So that's something that cool. What's he going to make like 26 or 28 million this year, and then next year is 14 or something like that?
I'm gonna pull it up here and see what we got in his contract is. That is, and he's got a whole bunch of deferred money too. Um,
Yeah, and like somebody else said, Arenado, his power numbers hasn't ever since he left Colorado, he hasn't hit over 30 home runs. I know
mhm,
last year he hit 314 or he hit over 300, but
mhm.
I don't even think he hit more than 15 home runs last year.
Yeah, he like making 21 this year, 16 next year, 15 the year after that,
Yeah, so I wasn't that off. So 21, 16.
and that's less than Christian Walker's gonna get
Yeah, way less than Christian Walker's. Christian Walker's going to get 22 to 24 million a season.
for probably 3 years.
And what, they're like the same age, right?
Christian Walker's 33, Arenado's 32. So,
32. Arenado's 32, a
hmm
year younger.
hmm and his stats. Let me pull up his stats quick fast so that we can see just for a base of comparison. Like, but again, if I'm gonna consider Arenado, I want one of the relievers too. It's got to be that way. You want us to assume Arenado, man? You gotta goose it a little bit. He hit 272 this year.
I think
60.
Ty put in the chat Arenado's 33. Arenado may turn 33 by when the season starts.
Oh yeah, he just turned. Yeah, he is 33 actually. He's 33. So, but batted 272, 16 homers, a 2.5 WAR. So, um, let's see his on base 315, 774 OPS. But career 857 OPS. So he's obviously in his decline years, but he's an elite. He's got an elite glove. So we need an elite glove for third base. You can keep Jazz at third and have Arenado at first. But I would insist that they add a reliever. You gotta add JoJo. You gotta add Helsley. Something. If you're not gonna consider Donovan, you gotta give us one of the relievers, bro. Like
Shout out to Cheesy Soul Cakes in the chat with the smiley face. That's
Cheesy.
my guy. He is super excited. Him
What's up,
being a
Cheesy?
Met fan. Listen, there's two Met fans in my life that nobody could bother. It's my mother and his Cheesy Soul Cakes. Those are the only two. Anybody else, they're free range.
Welcome to the club, Cheesy. Welcome, Cheesy. What's good, man? Evaldi, where do I see Evaldi signing? He wants to, that's a good question.
I can see Evaldi. I can see the Mets signing Nathan Evaldi.
I could. It did say one of the I think it was Feinstein. They said if because the Mets are in on Crochet, but Luis Angel Acuna is part of he would have to be part of the package. And he's their number one prospect. So Luis Angel Acuna was a shortstop, I think, right? So
Shortstop, second baseman, middle infielder. Listen, if you're in the Mets, you have to keep on adding. You can't just
yeah.
stop at Soto. You
Mm,
can't just stop at Soto. You got
and
to keep on adding.
and Acuna. I mean, well, there's Acuna. Like you want Dominguez from the Yankees, so yeah, you got to give up Acuna for the Mets. Yeah, of course, man. Now what else we seen here? I'm looking for. Yeah, the Mets are the favorites for Crochet right now, and the Yankees are a little bit behind in terms of offers. They both exchanged packages, the Mets and the Yankees, with the White Sox. So I don't know what the hell they offered, but um,
They offered all these prospects that David Stern have been building up for the past couple of seasons. That's what they're offering.
yeah,
Christian Scott may be going in that deal. Luis Acuna may be going in that deal. They
yeah.
got another starting pitcher. I forgot his last name. He has a very funky last name. He may be going in that deal as well. Starts with a T, I think.
Who's that third baseman now? Is it Brett Beatty?
Brett Beatty.
Beatty, right? But it looks like the Mets and the Yankees are going after this dude. Going after this dude. But again,
Yeah, Brandon Sproat. That's their number one
okay.
prospect in their system. He's a starting pitcher. He's supposed to be his ETA to the big league is 2025. So you got Sprout, Jet Williams, Drew Gorbert, Ryan Clifford, and Carson Benz. Their top 5 prospects.
All right. Kyle wants to know get Bellinger and Horner. I would pass on Horner, but I would do Bellinger and Suzuki. Suzuki's cheaper than Horner. The reason why I do that is because Horner plays the same position as Caleb Durbin, and they're both kind of speed demons. I would rather have another speed demon in the outfield with Suzuki and Durbin. So I'd rather have 2 speed demons over one. And
Yeah,
Horner costs $11 million a year, and you can probably get similar production out of Caleb Durbin on the cheap, like pennies on the dollars. So that's the way I look at it. But Bellinger, I think, is going to wind up happening. I really do. So, yeah, I saw that too. Brian Cashman's phone rang. Yeah, he was. I mean, talking to with Meredith and the rest of them, and I doubt he would. Yeah, I doubt he would take a phone call in front of the interview. So,
Listen, I don't mind Seiya Suzuki. When you look at it, each year he has gotten better. Like his first year, he had 262. Second year, he had 285. Last year, he had 283. Right, but last year he had a higher on base percentage than he did the year prior. Last year it was 366. The year before 357. His slugging percentage has improved every year. His OPS as well has improved every year. His strikeout numbers, they have gone up. His first year was 110, then 130, 160. I don't mind Suzuki. I know he can play you a solid outfield. He could be our solution to left field because
mhm.
we desperately need a left fielder. So you can have Cody Bellinger as your center fielder, and you can have Suzuki as your left fielder. And
Yep,
then if you have Jason Dominguez, or you want to have Jason Dominguez in the mix, Cody Bellinger, he's versatile. You can move him from center field, put him to first base
yep.
if that's the route you want to go.
And keep in mind too, if you trade for these guys, none of them are attached to qualifying offers, so you don't have to give up anything. Like no international money, no draft picks, none of that stuff. So I would expect the Yankees to if they could trade for an outfielder before Teoscar Hernandez, I think they're going to do that.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
I
but
think Gent in the chat. The last thing I've heard from the Max Fried thing is the last thing everybody's heard, that it will be done by the end of the winter meeting. So by this Thursday it will be done, or by Friday it will be announced.
there it is, man. Let's just make it. Hopefully we get a couple of pieces of news from the Yankees during the winter
Yeah.
meetings.
And then all of a sudden you've heard different clamorings and different stuff that that Brian Cashman may be transitioning out of his role in 2 to 3 years from now, right? That's something that was on the hot wire earlier in the day. Not sure if you saw that, Jason, but
Yeah,
I'll send you the clip, the video that was talking about it. So it's like after the Juan Soto news came out, all this stuff in the background with the Yankees and Mets started going off. So you never know what's real, what's fake. But if that's where we're at right now, the Yankees, it may not be pretty for the next few years if the front office, they don't make some major moves ASAP.
yeah. And I wonder who. I mean, who could they replace him with? Cashman. I want. I don't even.
It will be somebody internally. It'll be Fishman, and Yankee fans
Ah,
would really lose their fucking mind.
yeah. Yes, they would.
Yeah.
Damn, that would. Ah, God. I just hope it's somebody legit. Like, your scene wants to know if we trade for Kyle Tucker. If you had the ability to, yes. If we had the ability to, Yassine, but we don't
Yes.
know. It's being talked about tonight everywhere around the winter meetings.
The,
Hector's
the,
hearing it circulating everywhere.
the thing with Tucker, Jay, is we said it earlier. It's not a regular trade. Like, you're not trading with the Pittsburgh Pirates. You're
Mm-hmm.
trading with the Houston Astros, the
Mm-hmm.
team that's your rival, the team that's your nemesis, the team that sent you home in the postseason for years. Like that. That's the team that you're going to be trading with.
This is true. So you better you're gonna have to give up something that's gonna hurt. Um, and there's just no doubt about it. This is like if you trade with the Tampa Bay Rays for like Yandy Diaz or whatever, you're gonna give them something that's gonna hurt. You know,
Absolutely.
that's just the way it's got to be. Yeah, you want quality, you got to give quality. It's got to be that way. So it's yeah, man. That's what's going on. What else? What kind of chatter is going on out there tonight? What else are you hearing? You hearing anything about Roki Sasaki?
I just came back in to see if I hear anything, but this is like the major bar where like all the reporters and journalists and insiders are hanging out at, and then it's just a bunch of people just on the floor talking, different media members, different media outlets, different publications. Fan side was here. The Athletic is here as well. Look, I'm gonna walk by John Heyman. Look, I'm gonna walk by John Heyman.
Where's he at?
Sorry.
Ah, was that him?
Yeah.
David Cohen, thank you for the super chat. Minaya and Sabian. Yeah, we have Minaya and Sabian in the front office. Yeah, we do. So you have a couple guys. Minaya was an awful GM though when he was with the Mets. And Sabian was good. He helped construct that San Francisco Giants machine that they had in the mid 2010s. People are saying Hill and Ben Rice for Tucker. I don't know if that'd be a good starting point. Hill and Ben Rice for Tucker. Because they don't. I don't think they have a first baseman now right now. So the Astros. So that yeah, I mean the only way I would take Arenado is if Brendan Donovan's coming with him. The only way I would take it. It's got to be that way. And obviously I would try to get a reliever too, but that's a tough one, man. But yeah, this chatter right now. The Cardinals are pushing. They're trying to trade Arenado. All right, we got some of the gang here. Look at that. Oh, the Yankees area. Oh shoot, yes, the Yes Network. Yeah, buddy. Nice, man. Fucking A. Yeah, I mean, once the Yankees get on the scoreboard, I think people feel a little bit better after getting gut punched with the Soto deal. So
Yeah, that's what a lot of us we've been talking about. As soon as the Yankees they announce who or when they announce who they're signing, that's when Yankee fans can start taking that deep breath. That okay,
yep,
this is the first domino to fall.
yep. And I expect several dominoes to fall. Not all at once, but I expect several dominoes to fall. So, Hill, Arias, and a lower prospect. I don't know. It might be John. I don't know. Arias to me represents a more logical fit for the Astros, um, than Dominguez or Jones, but because their number one prospect is as a corner outfield of the Astros, so um, we'll see. I yeah, yeah. We see a freeze. I don't know if we'll see it tonight. I don't know
Jay,
if
I
we'll
want to
see
show
it.
you. I want to show you something real quick. Hold on.
What you got? We got who's that?
For the Oakland A's.
Oh my god! Right?
Yeah.
Oh shoot! Nice man. Nice dude. Oh man.
I'm not
Oh,
sure. I'm not sure if you noticed it because the worker was like looking at me with the when I had my phone. I'm not sure if you noticed. For people in the chat, go back to that moment and pause it where you see the A thing at, there's a little cut. You can tell they just removed the Oakland part of it. It's so noticeable. They just removed the Oakland part of it. They didn't even buy a brand new one.
Well, Johnny, just to add to this, one of the main reasons why he quit on the Marlins is because they wouldn't spend on talent. They wouldn't let him really develop the team. So he brought in Kim Eng as the GM, and now she's a free agent. So that's one of the reasons why he left, as far as I remember. I don't know if you have any more insight on that, Hector, but they would not invest in the team.
Yeah, it's
And
they promised the ownership group like they promised Derek Jeter certain things and they just didn't hold up their end of the bargain, and then some people started selling off their ownership of the ownership group that he originally was a part of, so it got real messy.
it's unfortunate, man, because he brought them to the playoffs. So got to give him to that. You know, Yankees almost traded for Diaz at the Yandy Diaz. Yeah, Cody. Yeah, yeah. Kim Mang. Yeah,
Yeah.
you never know. Kim Mang could be back. Kim Mang
Kim
was
Ng,
catching.
I always thought, she was well, first of all, she's super brilliant, and
Mhm.
I always was a fan of hers. Um, the
She's
heir apparent to Brian Cashman.
Yeah, she's got a good mind for baseball. She's got a really good mind for baseball. So,
Yeah, she definitely does. Look at what she helped build over there with the Marlins, right? So
mhm,
um it's just
mhm,
a shame that some GMs, they their job, they get handcuffed because
mhm,
they're part of an ownership group that's not willing to fully invest in the
mhm,
team when it comes to scouting, when it comes to player development, when it comes to certain things that may not show up on the scouting report, but in the long run may be beneficial for your team, right? We always like to bring up that one time Luis Soho, that story, right, when he was traded away, right? What happened? They went back. Mariano's wife went back to Cashman and told him, you need to bring that man back. You don't know how important he was to the team, right? So there's little things that don't show up in scouting reports. There's some things that us fans don't know that could go a long way when it comes to building culture.
mhm. And it's important, man. And it's one of the things. Mike Tauchman has agreed with the White Sox. Anthony, Mike Tauchman, really? All right. He was
Talkman's with the White Sox.
he
Mike
was
Talkman.
Tauchman. He was with the Cubs, wasn't he? Tauchman. Let's see. Yeah. All right. Cool. The Rangers are trying to close on Nathan Eovaldi.
The Rangers.
The Rangers are trying to close a deal with Nathan Eovaldi, but
It's a solid
nothing.
pitcher, man. Nathan Eovaldi's a solid starting pitcher.
Yeah, nothing official yet. Um, yeah, we'll see. What else? What else we got here? John Heyman. Um, yeah, it's too much of this Juan Soto. Like I'm over it already, dude. Like if somebody keeps sending me this stuff. Looks like there's chatter right now with Devin Williams.
Devin Williams.
Name circulating through the rooms there. Brewers. He's got 1 year left on his deal too. No, that's what we're. That's what's being reported here. Yeah, and it says here Brian Hoke said Brian Cashman said that he always understood that it was possible Soto would be a one and done with the Yankees. It's not a deal we regret. He impacted us in a heavy way. I'm just sorry we fell short in the World Series. It's fair enough.
It's fair.
I would make that trade again. I mean, look at the trade. Like the only one that's providing any value is Michael King. Drew Thorpe is not there. He's being traded to the White Sox. Kyle Gashoka's with the Texas Rangers. Brito and Vasquez, they're not doing anything. So if I would have done that trade again.
Yeah, you could make the argument that Drew Thorpe helped them get Dylan Cease. So you could make that argument.
Yeah, yeah, which is fine. Which is fine. So and now they got what? They got 2 years of Cease now. So good for them on that. So
Yeah.
Kyle, is you think that Kyle wants to know if you think there'll be a lockout in a few years?
There's
Lock.
always a potential of a lockout when you have greedy billionaire owners, right? So a lockout is always a potential. If I had to put a percentage behind it, I'm not too sure. But definitely with new TV deal that's up for negotiation, right? With traditional media like like cable not being as powerful as it once was, and
Mm-hmm.
everything now going to streaming, there could be a lockout when it comes to securing revenue streams from for players when it comes to streaming services. So I could see a lockout in that aspect. Kyle, great question.
Yeah, it is.
I could definitely see that as an aspect.
Yeah, yeah. Let's see. This is Mike King's last year at the Padres. He's a free agent after 2025. Somebody was saying about his contract. So the next CBA, yeah, dude. I mean, I hope that they consider a salary floor. I would gladly trade away the qualifying offer compensation for salary floor or
We just know, especially when it comes to these greedy owners, as soon as there's a salary floor, there's going to be a salary cap.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. What do we
We
think?
know that.
Vivas is going to get a shot, Tim. Yorbit Vivas, he'll get a shot in spring training. I mean, Caleb Durbin will compete with him and probably Oswald Peraza. Um, Steels, what's up, Steels? He wants us to sign Tucker and Vlad next year.
Hey, TC Stills, what it do? TC Stills is Brian Cashman's #1 fan.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he's got Brian Cashman t-shirts, undies. He got the whole thing. The whole thing, man.
He has a wristband that says, "What would Brian Cashman do?"
Yeah, yeah. WWBCD. What would Brian Cashman do? Special. Yeah, his chancletas. Brian Cashman chancletas with the. He's got the whole thing. The whole thing.
There you go.
Cashman is there. We go. There you go. Cashman is
Cashman is my daddy.
get that Pedro talk, man. I like it. Do we think a move? Today seems like a relatively quiet day. Maybe tomorrow's going to be a crazy ass day,
No, I think
or something can happen.
tomorrow will be a crazy day. I think with the Juan Soto news dropping late Sunday night into Monday, Monday has been all about the Juan Soto news, right? So if you're an agent or if you're a team, if there's any major moves to happen, it will happen tomorrow. If there's any minor moves, yeah, I can see some minor signings happening tonight, but big time deals won't happen until tomorrow.
Have you seen Cohen there, Steve Cohen?
No, I haven't seen Steve Cohen, but again, I've seen members of the Mets like PR and media team that I know from my times at City Field. I've seen them here today and yesterday.
Mm, all right, man. Pete Alonso. I heard that the Mets and Alonso are interested in having a reunion. That's what I heard so far, but nothing beyond that. So,
If you're the Mets, you don't yeah, that would be cute, but it's not necessary per se, right? You could get other players besides Pete Alonso that may help your team out more than Pete Alonso. But then again, after the run he had in the postseason, Met fans may just want to bring him back for the vibes. He does give you good power numbers. He could sit right behind Juan Soto and Francisco Lindor in that lineup, so it could be a solid move. And
mm-hmm,
maybe he's willing to take a team friendly deal now that they got Juan Soto, right? You never know.
mm-hmm. Uh, Tim, yeah, the Padres need a catcher. They also need a pitcher because they're gonna miss Joe Musgrove for the year with Tommy John. So, how about Nestor Cortez and Jose Trevino for Luis Arias? How about that?
Wait, what? What for who?
The Padres need a catcher and they need a pitcher. So, what do we send them? Nestor Cortez and Jose Trevino in exchange for Luis Arias.
Any GM that accepts that deal, they need to be taken out to the back of the barn. Old yellow, all
Yep.
right?
Yep. Yep. Pete said he's done with. Who's Pete, Flying Monster? Who's Pete? I don't know who Pete is. Done with New York.
I think he's talking about Pete Alonso. Pete
Okay.
Alonso said he's done with New York. Yeah.
All right. Well, if he's done with New York, then maybe he goes to Seattle, or maybe he goes to Houston. Maybe he's the new first baseman. It could be.
Hey,
Could be. Yeah. Yeah, but they're having trouble right now. They're trying to. They're having trouble trying to gain momentum on an extension. So that's why I want to offer them that, and hopefully they'll fall for it, which I doubt they will. So Uh, yeah, Cubs. I mean, the Cubs. Is Hector saying, Nicholas, that the Cubs? It sounds like the Cubs are going to go on a full fire sale, right? So that's the intel Hector's getting out there. Full fire sale or close to a fire sale.
Yeah.
Jack Curry. Any intel from Jack Curry tonight, Bryce? I mean, Hector. Bryce wants to know.
No, I saw when they were doing the Yankees hot stove episode, they was just talking about just the aftermath of Juan Soto and how the Yankees and Brian Cashman did everything they could to bring him back, but nothing crazy from Jack Curry or Meredith or Bob Lorenz.
Oh yeah, this might happen too, Jacob. The Cubs might trade Dansby Swanson because he's on a big contract. Dansby, yeah, I mean, could he play second base or third base? Could he play third base, Dansby? I don't know. I don't know, man. That's crazy, man. What's the reason that the Cubs are potentially doing a fire sale?
I have no idea. I didn't know Chicago was broke.
Yeah. Shoot, man. Oh, wait a minute. What? According to some, is this legit? I don't know. The Jays are close to a deal with Corbin Burns. I haven't heard any corroborate. I haven't heard anything, Madden, yet on that. I'm looking closely on winter meeting stuff right here. Hector would have heard about it too right now because he's there. Right?
The only thing that's come out today when it comes to about starting pitching has been Max Fried. That's the only thing. I haven't heard anything about Corbin Burns.
Yeah. This yeah, nothing yet here. At the end of the day, I don't think the Yankees are going to get Correa anyway. I don't think they're going to get Correa. I think they're going to get Fried, and then maybe, I don't know. Hopefully, maybe Roki Sasaki. Maybe they have an outside shot. I don't know. I have no idea. Or maybe they'll try to get a Walker Buehler on the back end of the rotation, or Jack Flaherty. I don't know. Not sure. So, Tanner Scott. Well, we heard that the Dodgers are interested in Tanner Scott and Devin Williams. That's what we heard tonight too. But they're in on everybody too. They're in on everybody. So, yeah. If there's if there's a strike or lockout, it will be the final nail for death of McGuire. So yeah, you need something to resurrect the game like that, man. We'll have to have a stolen base.
No, because we had a lockout a few years ago, and it wasn't the end of baseball.
Yeah, it was what, like a month lockout, 2 month lockout,
Yeah,
something like that. I remember that. I do remember that. Better prospects. I don't think the Mets have better prospects for Correa. They're gonna have to give their major league pieces, like Luis Angel Acuna. He's their starting shortstop now. They'll have to give him. So the Yankees can get Correa, but you have to give up Jason Dominguez or Spencer Jones, and then beyond that, like, what if you give them Arias and Dominguez? Maybe that's enough. Arias can replace Yohan Moncada because I don't think Moncada's going to come back there. And Dominguez can replace Luis Robert. So, I don't know. I really don't know. There's going to be a lot of moving pieces. So, right now, it's just this is what happens, too. Why Jones and not Dominguez, Nicholas? Why? Well, Max Fried. Look, if you get Max Fried, I'd be happy if they added Max Fried, and then you can
yeah, I
try.
wouldn't. I wouldn't mind Max Fried. I would take Max Fried over Corbin Burns.
So would I. You get Max Fried, and then and you just get Tanner Scott and try to beef up your bullpen too. Yeah, I mean, well, yeah, I mean, Udall neck surgery. Oh man, you keep recovering, Udall. Mazel tov, my friend. Spinal neck surgery.
You be good, my guy.
Keep getting that recovery, man. Keep healing, brother. You keep healing, man. Really. Estevez, I'd be fine with Carlos Estevez. I'd be fine with Jeff Hoffman from the Phillies. They signed Jordan Romano today from the Blue Jays. The the Phillies did. So they added a reliever today. Freya, yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Cashman trades for somebody that we're not even thinking about. And then we were like, "What the hell? I didn't think this guy was available." Because he has a tendency to do that too, just to trade for people that we have no idea that that nobody's talking about. That's part of Cashman's mo too. He does this a lot. Trade people like, "What the fuck? Like, how, what?" So, yeah, Kyle Jarvis, yeah, Kyle Tucker is on the trading block. The GM, they're listening to offers for him right now. Hector's there. I mean, so he's hearing it.
Yeah,
He's on
yeah.
the.
That's what I heard. They're listening to offers. I don't know how real that is, but yay.
He's got 1 year left, so and their number one prospect's a corner outfielder. He could be replaced, so you might as well get some
Yeah,
value back for him. So, and maybe they'll listen in on Framber Valdez too. For all we know, I don't know. Pedro Serrano fucking steals, man. Steals got jokes, man.
shout out to Pedro Serrano. If you know, you know.
Joe Boo. Yeah, Ryan McMahon.
Joe Boo.
If you can get Ryan McMahon from the Rockies, he's another guy I would consider. Because then you would have to move Jazz to second. And then, it's very, it sounds as if Durbin's going to get a shot to win second base, though. So, yeah, Brent, yeah, Hector's at the winter meetings. He's right there. That's the winter meetings.
Yeah, this is Julian. Julian, say hi to the chat.
Hey, what's up, chat?
What's up, Julian? Julian Gigliarte, right? Gigliarte? Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah. Julian Galarte, yeah.
Gigliarte, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah, you getting your steps in too, Jacob said, yeah.
Oh yeah, I've shot over I'm past 20,000 steps for today.
Get your work in, man. That's what I'm saying, dude. Yeah, you know what? Like Arenado, that's what the Cardinals are pushing to move Arenado, and they're trying to get the Yankees involved here. So that's what we're hearing. I mean, not hearing any traction on that, right? No momentum on Arenado, right?
No, I haven't. I've only heard what you heard.
Yeah, I mean they're pushing for it, but I don't think the Yankees will bite unless you include a reliever or Brendan Donovan. I can't see it happening. I can't see it happening, man. Like, yeah, it would be nice if the Yankees signed Max Fried and then the Red Sox signed Corbin Burns, so that the Mets can't get him. No, that would be nice. That would be really nice, but we'll see what happens. We will see what happens. By the way, hit them like buttons, gang. We got 326 people in here. Let's keep cracking them likes. It's always helpful in these live streams. Always helpful for the algorithms too. We greatly appreciate it. Yeah, Mike Talkman. Maybe that means they're gonna it'll be a little bit easier for them to move Luis Robert because they're adding an outfielder. So maybe 164 likes. Yeah, we got to. If anybody hasn't hit that like button, please just do that right now. Let's get over 200 at least. Greatly appreciate it. What else we got here? They're not gonna. I can't see them doing Burns and Fried. That would be insane. Yeah, Jarvis. Well, Hector was saying too that it looks like they're reporting that they're gonna announce Max Fried before the winter meetings is over, and then whatever else happens after that. Udall, man, let's get you better, man. Let's get you 100% again, man. Jay Taylor and Rube. Oh God, Rube Baker, that other catcher. Anthony, I do think they trade Stroman, but I don't know if they trade him at the winter meetings, unless something else happens. Unless the Cashman goes on heater tomorrow, right? Unless he goes on heater tomorrow, so he could. I know that they're motivated to trade Stroman, but I don't know if it'll happen at the winter meetings. So we'll see.
I think something else will happen first before Strowman, whatever is announced, or if something happens with Strowman, that's not going to be the first news to drop, right? I think either a signing like Max Fried or a trade like Cody Bellinger would be the first thing to drop, instead of the Marcus Stroman news.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, let's get Freed in the books first, and let's get that confirmed before you start moving players in trades. That way,
Agree.
because other than that, you're gonna be in trouble. And, you trade for you sign Freed and you don't have other things lined up, then you lose leverage, man. So you don't want to do that. Yep. And again, we know that the Yankees don't leak, so Cashman doesn't leak. So who knows what they're working on?
Yeah, no, I 100% agree with you on that.
It's they uh, Bronx 5. Yeah, they're gonna bid on Roki Sasaki. Yep. He was officially posted this morning or yesterday morning, Roki. So, but he can't sign until January 15th. But by then, all the money will be reset internationally. So, the most he can get is like $7 million, and that's going to go towards his signing bonus. That's not his salary. It's just like when they gave Jason Dominguez $5 million, that was his signing bonus. So his salary with whatever that minor league salary was. So, and then his major leagues, once he gets to the major league, that starts his pre-arb and his arb clock. Then you go from like 50,000 to 700. So whatever it is. So I would try to get Tanaka too, Masahiro Tanaka. Roki Sasaki used to idolize Masahiro Tanaka. So I used to idolize Tanaka. So I would try to get Tanaka involved too. I really would. Yeah, well, exactly, Sean. Yeah, it's just like the waiting game. There's always one quiet day in the winter meetings. It was today. It's just some minor deals. Tomorrow, it's just probably gonna be a shitstorm. But Hector and I will be live tomorrow too. We'll be feeding you on all the intel. So we have not heard the Yankees are getting Pete Alonso. As far as we know, we're not. They're not really interested in him or Alex Bregman. So that's what we're hearing right now. Nervous. Yeah, I think Cashman knows. So does Hal. He knows what's at stake here. They're going to get a lot of heat if Soto walks and they don't bring back a lot of reinforcements, a lot of good reinforcements, or the right reinforcements. So the Yankees can get Profar too. Yes, they can. And he's a high on base percentage guy too, and he would not cost as much as Teoscar. So Profar is a guy I would look into. Yeah. You hearing anything out there about Profar, Beck?
No. Sorry, I just had to walk into like the media room
It's all good, man.
to sit down, grab a seat. My back is killing me. No, I
Yeah.
haven't heard anything about Profar or anything.
Yeah. Profar is another one. He's got he's got some. He's the. If you look at the top 10 players in on base percentage, he's like number 7. He's the only one that's a free agent. So Profar. So if you want to get an on base percentage guy, he's a good one.
Yeah,
So
the only thing that concerns me about Profar is that I think the first 2 months of the season, he was hitting like well over 350, and he hit like 250 or 260 for the rest of the season. So that's the only thing that concerns me. He had a career year, on a walk year, so that's the only thing that concerns me about Profar. He was always a top prospect that just never lived up to the expectations. Was out of baseball for some time also. So that's the only concerns I have about Profar.
yeah, I would be fine with Teoscar honestly, but I would be more fine with Kyle Tucker. But we'll see if that's actually has teeth to it. So, but I think the more realistic option is probably Cody Bellinger. All right.
Yeah, I was just about to say I'm more in love with Cody Bellinger than any of those other two players that you mentioned.
Yeah, Bellinger and Max Fried. I'd be happy if they did Bellinger and Max Fried at the winter meetings. That'd be a nice little winter meetings. And then there's still 2 months more business that they could do, and they will be making more business. So, um,
Yeah, I agree.
yeah, man. So, but that's what we got, gang. This is what's going on, everybody. Right now at the winter meetings, right? It's a relatively quiet day. No more Garcia Par, Jose. Yeah, jokes, Jose. um, we'll be live tomorrow again. You know,
Yeah, I'll be live tomorrow. Yankees morning brew, probably at 12 o'clock, or 11 o'clock. I'm still lost on Texas time. I forgot. I'm not. I'm not EST. So when you, that's why I was late yesterday, so much because I thought it was just regular time. So my fault. I apologize. I
what is
just
it?
realized today.
What is it? Is it 1 hour or
It's
2 hours?
just 1 hour, 1 hour. So NFE, I was supposed to be on with NFE, right? So he was like, "Yeah, show up at 5:30." So I thought it was 5:30 my time, but no, it's 5:30 EST. So my fault, NFE.
All good, man. Well, you mean to my, if something pops up of significance, you're going to get it from us, one way or the other, gang. That's our, promise to you. That's we're committed to getting you all the information, all the good, especially the good intel too. So, and we're going to continue to do it every
Yeah,
day. We're going to
yeah.
continue to
Live
do
from the winter meetings. I'll be walking around tomorrow. I'll be here early tomorrow because it's like mm, a networking conference that they have going on with like everybody from every major league team. So that's a good opportunity for networking. So I'll be here super early for that. So be on the lookout. Make sure you guys hit the subscribe button, hit that bell notification. So anytime Jason goes live, you guys get notified. Hit the subscribe button for Uptown Sports TV. So when I go live, you guys will get notified as well. Follow us on social media, on Twitter, on the TikToks, and on the Instagrams.
That's it, gang. And we thank you so much for coming. Hector, I want to thank you again, as always, brother. Sharing the
Of course,
intel,
bro.
keeping us updated what's going on, man. Much love you, man. And
Love you too,
go get
brother.
some rest, bro. Go get some rest and have a great night to everybody in the chat. Appreciate all yous for your insights and your super chats and everything else. And Yankee signed Tony Pena. Look, I mean, Profar could be an option, but I think he'll be a late option. But I think Bellinger is probably the most realistic one at this point. Maybe
Yes, sir.
Bellinger and Suzuki. Maybe that's a better package, Bellinger and Suzuki. So we'll see what they do. We'll
Yeah.
see what they do.
Let's see.
Honestly,
Let's see. It's time to get creative, right?
yeah.
Again, if you guys were in Juan Soto's shoes, I know if I was in Juan Soto's shoes, I would try to get a suite. I would try to get 850, 860 million. I would
Yeah.
try to get that $75 million bonus. That way it's not connected with the money I make on the field. So I'm a Florida resident. Don't have to pay that much taxes if you're Juan Soto. So listen, if we were all Juan Soto, we would have done the same thing.
Mm-hmm. Maximize whatever you just like Texas. I don't think there's any state tax tax in Texas either. So there's advantages from tax event, places like Florida and Texas. So and
Jose in the chat is wild for that last comment he made. Yeah, like somebody said, it's getting late when the idiots are coming out.
yeah, that's what happens. That's what happens, man. But the freaks come out at night, man.
Yeah,
Freaks
shout out to you, Jose. Hashtag freaks come out at night.
Yeah. Before we bounce out, you hearing anything on Jack Flaherty?
Nothing yet on Jack Flaherty. Nothing yet on Jack Flaherty. I know Shane Bieber is already out already signed, and that's
Yeah.
somebody that you and I we talked about. But no, I haven't heard anything on Jack Flaherty. I haven't heard anything on Walker Bueller. Everybody was waiting for the first domino to fall. That's Juan Soto. That's why when the Juan Soto news dropped, Max Fried immediately the name started buzzing with Max Fried. So everybody was waiting to see where Juan Soto went in order to start signing or start making trades or getting on the phone for trades.
Yeah. Hopefully Max Fried happens tomorrow and the floodgates open. Let's open up some floodgates here. I mean, because the Rule 5 draft is Wednesday, so and then that concludes the winter meeting. So
Hmm.
uh, and expect a bunch of Yankees to get poached. They always get poached at the Rule 5 draft. So
Oh
um,
yeah, yeah. I'll be here. I'll be here for that one. Yeah. So me and Jason will be live tomorrow. Again, Jay, you just let me know. Send me the link, and I'm there. You send the
no
bat
doubt.
signal, and I'm there, bro.
Sounds good, brother. Have a great night, man. I'll talk to you
All right.
later, brother. Thank
Later,
you,
y'all.
everybody in the chat. Over and out, Brent. Have a great night. Heck, you're the man, dude. Much love, brother. Much love. Everybody in the chat, thank you so much. Really appreciate you. Always appreciate your support. Everything you bring to it's you folks that make our channels better. We greatly appreciate you all. We really, really do. So, and unfortunately, there wasn't much big news to report tonight, but there's some stuff that it sounds like there's a lot of chatter going on right now, and there's a lot of stuff being worked on right now that's going to probably explode tomorrow. So expect that, and especially tomorrow is the big day before the Rule 5 draft. So expect some a much busier day tomorrow than today. So peace and love to all of you. Have a great night, and again, just keep your notifications turned on. We got the rest taken care of. Peace.